and life. So start off with the basic concept of photoperiodism. Then what is periodism? It is a physiological response to the duration of light and darkness. It plays a crucial role in processes on biological plants and animals. And this presentation explores the further mechanism of and efficiency of photoperiodism. So what we see here is example of SAR, that is shared avoidance response. If we see the first picture right here, that the sun is directly on the plants, and then they can easily grow. But in the second example, we can see that in the second diagram, the plant between the two plants. So the plant have to grow up or to compete with the other plants to have its a specific amount of sunlight. So this plant induces a shade avoidance response. So in result to the shade avoidance response, that from it grows up, elongation occurs. So PIF4 is a protein, that is phytochrome induction protein. The gene induced due to this competition is PIF4, that is inducing factor that cause elongation in the plant, so that it may grow it may elongate so that it the required sunlight it needs. So what do we have next is how plants detect light because they have specific proteins for detection of light. So they are called as photoreceptors or phytochromes. They are sensitive to, for example, there are different types of photoreceptors. For example, phytochromes, they could be F box proteins, phytochromes, UR8, and these are different types of proteins that plant use to detect sunlight. So now we'll move towards the next slide. So what happens upon if the light is suppose we have gone light is perceived now upon perception, what will occur next? So upon light perception, a signaling cascade is initiated. For example, we can see here through the diagram, if there is a if there is a light, there is ligand. So cause cause the switching on of the ligand, so that as a result different chemical reactions were initiated. As a result of their chemical reactions, different proteins were activated. But if there is no light, there is no ligand. So there is no ligand, so no cascade or signaling cascade initiated. So it involves no expression or activation of genes. But if light is active, if light is upon the plant, it causes initiation of signaling cascade. So there is activation or repression of specific genes, as you can see from the example. Moving to the next slide, what we have is it's about gene activation or repression, how it happens or how it occurs. So gene expression or activation that leads to flowering in plants, it involves different biological processes. It could be flowering, it could be senescence. So, as far as the slide concerned, we are dealing with flowering in plants. So, when different initiation cascade occurs, so as a result, FT gene is activated. The FT gene causes flowering. So the response ensure the reproduction occurs in environmental condition. It is also responsible for reproduction, for proper time for reproduction when the environmental condition are optimal and are very good for the plant to grow. So now we'll move towards myths about photoperiod. There are certain myths that are about photoperiod, so we'll go through each by one by one. The first one is that all plants and animals respond similarly to periods. It's not the case. uh, different plants and different elements respond differently to photoperiod, as they have different cells and different tissues and system. That's why they respond differently to photoperiod. Photoperiod is solely dependent on daylight. No, it not dependent on daylight. It depends on the intensity of light and photochrome present on the photochrome present on the plant, and as well as in animals, how and the type of cell tissue and the type of organism in case of animals. The third one is photoperiodism only affect plants. No, it's not always the case that photoperiodism. When we thought about photoperiodism, it only happens in plants. That's not the case. It also occurs in animals as well. We will proceed to in further presentation. In further presentation, we will discuss about that. So the last but not the least one is, all the animals and plant respond similarly to photoperiod. All the animals and plant, they do not respond similarly to photoperiod. Everyone have different mechanism to adjust to photoperiod, so the response is very different. Same is the case, just like they have different phytochromes, different cell types, and different tropisms, tissue tropisms, so they respond differently to photoperiod. Here are there are some references. Someone to the extra knowledge about the period, he or she can go to references and get a better gist of the what of the fit period. That's all from a presentation. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching the video.